Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. I got this email either today or yesterday on the new email that Adobe Stock sent referring to the upfront payments for different images that you upload. So if you're not familiar, Adobe Stock has been doing this pretty much, I don't know, for a few years now, at least that I've been in it. And basically what they do is you have this portfolio where you have images that are downloaded. And from what I understand, they use images that already have sales. I could be wrong on this, but I've only noticed it on images that I have sales. And what they do is they offer you some sort of payment for a certain period of time that they own it. And you can kind of see here, they have some messaging on how long they would own the image for, the collection. And they're effectively, giving you a payment for it. So let's go ahead and go over this, right? It says here that you can either be selected for a 1-year term or perpetual use, And so what that means is they're going to pay you $10 for each image for perpetual use, meaning if you have, let's just say, a portfolio of 100,000 images, and they decide to select, let's say, 4,000 images for perpetual use, and you accept that because if you're aware, you can log into your Adobe Stock account today. You can see the different images that are nominated for this program, and you can turn a little on and off switch on each image. And if you turn it on, what's going to happen is by a certain date, they're going to take all those images in and they're going to do their analysis on what they're going to accept and what they're not going to accept, right? And if they do select your image, whether it be for the 1-year term or for perpetual use, they're going to pay you for it. Now, if I remember correctly, I think last year I was selected for 1 year, perpetual use, and 6 months. To a 6-month term. Now, I could be wrong about the 6-month term, but I know I've had it before. So, and I believe it was $5 for the 6-month term. I could be wrong, but maybe I'm mixing up my numbers. It's been a while, but this was once again last year. So, the point here is people do get these different offers at different times. I don't know, potentially, if we all get them at the same time, I'm not 100% sure, but I know that I can't remember exactly when I last got this, but it happens quite frequently, and time has passed by, right? So that's really not the point when it happens or the specifics. The point is that this is on the table. So if you haven't already logged into your Adobe Stock, go ahead and take a look at what images they're nominating. For me, these have been images that gotten maybe like 1 or 2 downloads. I haven't really noticed them on a lot of my images that have downloaded plenty of times. Like I have images that have been downloaded, over 400, 500 times on certain accounts, and they have not been nominated for this program. And to be honest, I wouldn't pick an image that has been downloaded that many times for a program like this because it would make me more money over time. So to put things into consideration, the average license for everybody who sells on Adobe Stock an image, you gain about 33% of that license value. So if somebody, let's just say, pays $30 to download 10 images, well, what's a third of each license? That equals to 99 cents or $1, right? So you might notice sometimes, depending on what that person paid, you might have a download of that's, equivalent to $1.01, 99 cents, 43 cents, 33 cents. It just depends purely on the license that person paid. And you can look at the image and you can look at the past history of the image's value. How many times did it sell and how much money did you make? I've done this before with my wallpaper videos where I was kind of showing my most profitable wallpapers on Adobe Stock, the style that they had, the prompt that they had, and how much money that they made. So I was just kind of thinking about it, is that there are probably certain people who have certain images nominated that it wouldn't make it sense for them to use the perpetual or the 1-year term, because once again, it depends on the mathematics. It depends on how much downloads you're going to get. So if you have certain images that you don't believe are going to get more than like 4 to 10 downloads, then it probably is a good idea for you to select the 1 year term. Now, if you have the ability, first off, to use the perpetual term, then use it, depending on how profitable the image is, right? It just, once again, depends on the image. So for perpetual use, in my case, they're offering $10, and for 1 year term, they're offering $4. So, it is what it is. The numbers are what they are. The nice thing is, the larger portfolio you have the potential, you can have more and more image nominations. I do find it interesting, though, because this year I have a little bit less nominations than I've had before. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it's still quite significant, So I don't remember exactly how much I made last year, but I think I made like over $5,000 with the nominations. And to me, I think it was worth it. I definitely had a lot of images, so overall it was worth it. But we'll see what happens here. So I am going to work on my nominations tonight. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll see, because I do have a lot of work to do. I have a few accounts. So, my work is ahead of me. It's definitely cut out for me. And like I said, I'm going to have to be doing the mathematics, looking into how many times things sell, and really just trying to calculate the average, of the amount it's going to bring in. So, me personally, best case scenario, to be honest, is probably the 1 year term over the perpetual, even though the perpetual is more than double. Because if the image is already generating downloads, then I would want it just to be, for essentially a short term, leased out effectively for a year. And that's really what they're doing here. They're leasing out your imagery to effectively help them make more money. So what they do is, for people who are curious, the way they'll probably look at this from a mathematical standpoint is they'll look at their own website. They'll look at the images that have been downloaded and where the gaps in the marketplace are. And if there are certain gaps, like for example, in a niche that relates to, let's use mugs, for example, pictures of mugs, then they're going to reach out to people and nominate them for this opportunity to be selected for either a perpetual or a 1 year term, right? Because they need more data for that. Or not more data, but they want more images for that. So this doesn't directly promote the concept of images, but they know that there's a demand for it. So what they'll do is they'll take your image effectively, and it becomes theirs for either a year or a period of time, just like what you see here. And they're going to push that image in the algorithm further, right? So it's going to get more attention. So it's essentially serving a demand when the demand was lax in the beginning. It was lacked in the beginning. So they're going to push it a little bit further, and then from that push, it will bring more income to them for that image. Remember, they control the algorithm. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this plays out. But I've seen this happen every year now that I've been doing this, and I personally enjoy it. I feel like it's another way to boost and help people become encouraged to create more and keep making money. But overall, it's a good thing for pretty much everybody, because you have the freedom to choose what you want to do and what you want to nominate. So hopefully this video helps. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon, and let me know how many images you're going to be nominating this year.